As you're about to see, there are people in this world that are so calloused, so heartless, and so proud about ending a human life that it's as sobering as it is deeply disturbing. I could hardly watch it without my jaw hanging open.
Look, there's mine right there. Look, there's mine right there. I'm just so slutty. I got pregnant, so I had to get an abortion. I still love me. Sex and abort fetuses. That's my number one thing.
I have to admit, there's anger that rises up inside me when I see gratuitous displays of passion for the wanton termination of any innocent human being. But there's also pity for these women. What's had to have happened to them in their lives where they've become so disconnected from the normal tendency for the preservation of life, especially the most frail human lives among us, that they seemingly have no problem making light of the mock graves of dead human beings?
As some would explain things, just in case.
And you're proud of it?
I'm the new.
Yes, I'm super proud of it. I am extremely proud of it.
I just got here.
I exercise my right to choose.
Okay, it looks like we have an officer, a couple of officers on site.
Apparently I can't stand in grass and get the cops called. I love advocating for abortion.
Think about this. She loves advocating for abortion. Why not love advocating for abstinence, the logical preventative step that would have kept him from ending a human life in the first place? If you don't want the likely consequence of having sex, don't engage in it until you're ready to bring life into the world. But with these people, the woman's right to choose always trumps the baby's right to live. As one abortion activist wrote in Salon, so what if abortion ends life? It's a life worth sacrificing. This is mind-blowing and horrific.
My uterus loves advocating for abortion. How am I infringing on your fucking free speech?
Are we stopping you from talking?
I can't hear y'all. When I say Planned, you say Parenthood. Planned, Parenthood, Planned, Parenthood. When I say aborted, you say fetuses. Aborted, fetuses, aborted, fetuses. I had an abortion. Shout out to Planned Parenthood. For all the women out there, I am so sorry that you have decided to succumb to this cheaper patriarchy. Your mothers betrayed you. What if we kissed in the fetus graveyard?
She said, what if we pissed on the fetus graveyard? It's hard to imagine more conscience-seared individuals than this.
Stop, hey, what's that sound? All the fetuses are in the ground. Look, there's mine right there.
And then we have people like this political parasite saying this.
All I'm saying to you, it ought to be a woman's choice. I'm not about to be as a male tell a woman what to do with her body. She has a right to make that decision herself.
She has a right to make that decision herself, huh? Well, does she have the right not to pay her property taxes? Does she have the right to drive down the road without a license? Does she have the right not to file her taxes with the IRS and keep 100% of what she earns? Does she have the right to smoke a plant and ingest it into her own body without being thrown into prison and fined? No? Well, then you're a hypocrite. You don't have any problem telling her what she has to do in other situations, but you're not going to tell her she can't murder an innocent human life? That's despicable.
To rape the incest. Some kids are unwanted. So you kill them now, kill them later. You bring them in the world unwanted, unloved. Then you send them to the electric chair. So you kill them now, kill them later.
Did you get that? He actually admitted that a baby in the womb is a kid and that an abortion is actually the act of killing a kid. He says you can either kill him now or kill him later. He's actually admitting that he's not about to tell a woman that she can't kill her own kid. As a matter of fact, he's saying she can kill her own kid. This is a bombshell, guys. Who is he? He's Alabama State Representative John Rogers from District 52. Oh, and look, here's all his contact information, which I'll happily post in the description and in the pinned comment. And one more thing before I go. If people really cared about women like they say they do, they'd study the actual effects of abortion. Not just the life-destroying effects on the baby, but also the horrible effects on the mother. You need to see this. Studies show that pregnancy is actually correlated with a dramatic decreased rate of suicide compared to non-pregnant women. This has led some psychiatrists to suggest that pregnancy somehow serves as a psychologically protective role. The presence of another person to live for appears to reduce the suicidal impulses of a mentally disturbed or deeply depressed woman. Although pregnancy weakens suicidal impulses, there is strong evidence that abortion dramatically increases the risk of suicide. According to a 1986 study by researchers at the University of Minnesota, a teenage girl is 6 times more likely to attempt suicide if she's had an abortion in the last 6 months than is a comparable teenage girl who has not had an abortion. Other studies have found similar statistical significance between a history of abortion and suicide attempts among adults. So the actual data suggests that abortion is far more likely to drive an unstable woman to suicide than is pregnancy and childbirth. And take a look at this over here. Abortion increases the likelihood of suicide is the finding of research in the United States, Britain, and Finland. After an abortion, a woman has to deal with painful issues of grief and loss. On the other hand, keeping the baby reduces the risks of suicide because the mother lives to care for her child. Guys, there are a lot of these studies. The Finland study revealed a 6-fold increased rate of deaths from suicide among aborting women. A study conducted in Wales on 408,000 women between 1991 and 1995 found that women who had induced abortions were 225% more likely to commit suicide than women admitted for normal delivery. And a recent American study came up with similar results, examining the medical records of 173,279 low-income women who had abortions in 1989. 4 years later, the annual suicide rate was found to be 160% higher among the aborting women than those who delivered their babies. Besides the fact that killing an innocent human being is inherently immoral, there are other detrimental effects on the mother that nobody wants to talk about. These politicians don't care about women, and they obviously don't care about babies. Abortions cause deep psychological and emotional damage that, while these women laugh it off and mock fetus graves and claim to be proud of their abortions, nothing can cover up the deep emotional scarring that comes from terminating an innocent life. The fact is, abortions destroy the baby and damage the mother in very profound ways. Human lives matter. Please share this video with everybody you know. If you get something out of these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, and share them with everybody you know. If you guys enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. Also, check out over 100 hard-hitting designs in the shirt store, and if you want to support more content, hit me up on Patreon or PayPal. All those links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.